Hi there, and welcome to Apple World, Diddy's camp. Maybe he needs to add more stuff because he has one more stunner on his hands, Bryshere Gray. We knew about Bryshere and Will Smith, and already there were presumptions that what occurred with Will Smith occurred with Diddy as well. Yet presently there could be a film out there affirming how Diddy did Bryshere. OMG, okay, there have been a couple of visually impaired things expressing that Will Smith and Diddy forced Bryshere into freak-off meetings like the ones with Cassie, despite his desire to the contrary, currently from the get-go in Bryshere's vocation, and in past meetings you can hear him alluding to individuals like Diddy and Will Smith as his tutors, and I realize that I have seen recordings of Will Smith saying that Bryshere was his mentee. You know, he's encircled by a ton of solidarity, he's encircled by a ton of adoration, and he should simply add discipline, and he's going to be okay. Anyway, it is currently accepted that the two men were doing, with Bryshere assuming some pretense of mentorship, and subsequent to trimming off his relationship with the two men, Bryshere felt as though he was debased from the music business and Hollywood with Will Smith. There have proactively been claims to a great extent that he was accomplishing such a great deal more than coaching Bryshere. Submissive plants. Basher Dim went out shouting, August, the one in particular that remained, and I surmise he was truly debilitated. He really wanted the assistance, with significance. Panther rightly said that she by and by conversed with a lot of youthful rappers, and they let her know that whatever was happening in those gatherings that were being facilitated by any semblance of Will Smith and Diddy was sickening. I'm saying that due to the craftsmen that I just addressed not very far in the past that got welcome to a party at their home, everything was cool front and center till they went to the back, and there were a lot of old young men back there all stripped in the swim house. Purportedly exactly the same things Bryshere were a lot of old young men back there all stripped in the swim house. Purportedly exactly the same things Bryshere were a lot of old young men back there all stripped in the swim house. Purportedly exactly the same things Bryshere were a lot of old young men back there all stripped in the swim house. Purportedly exactly the same things Bryshere were a lot of old young men back there all stripped in the swim house. Purportedly exactly the same things Bryshere was proceeding with Will Smith, he was additionally going through them with Diddy. As a matter of fact, as of late, there have been reports of a claim going around guaranteeing that Will Smith and Diddy plotted to disrupt Rashi's profession and notoriety, and that they owe him $50 million in punitive fees. The claim, which was documented in Los Angeles predominant court, claimed that Will Smith and Diddy were desirous of rasher achievement and ability, and that they capitalized on their leverage and associations to spread misleading bits of gossip about him, boycott him from projects, and obstruct his agreements in the wake of utilizing him. The claim likewise blamed the two for arranging Bryshere's capture in 2020, when he was accused of DV after supposedly stifling his better half and declining to help out the police. You all recall how that case was muddled. In the event that you don't remember, let me fill you in shortly. So when the episode happened, Bryshere at first wouldn't emerge from the house, and a specialized squad and emergency discussion group must be brought in to help, and they in the long run brought him in to be interrogated. Now it's rare for cross-examination tapes to spill, yet Bryshere's cross-examination was some way or another released, and that main adds to the hypothesis that it might have truly been an arrangement. What's far more detestable was Bryshere's condition, because all through the 2-hour interview Bryshere's record of what happened continually different, and he said he went to his companion John's home to play football, and in the end, he was messaged or called by a neighbor telling him of a significant police presence at his home. Okay, and she was saying the police are outside called her. She like a ton of police outside police then, at that point, inquired as to whether Rasher knew Jay's number, or then egg. And on the off chance that he could let him know the location where JN resided, yet he said he didn't have the foggiest idea about the data since he had met JN only days before. Then he began making a few charges about his significant other, saying she had mental issues and that they were in an open relationship. She has mental issues, like with young ladies messaging me, we have an open relationship, a chick messaged me on the telephone. She could say, okay, I need to give you that B, I need to give that. I could erase it. She actually see it some way or another. He was likewise let the police know that his significant other attempted to unalive herself multiple times, and he was simply attempting to prevent that from occurring. And he additionally said that the other individual named Imprint was the one harming his significant other anyway, as per his significant other. Everything Bryshere was saying was not checking out in light of the fact that he had been determined to have bipolar confusion and an ADHD. Yet he would not take his prescription. And she additionally said that Imprint is a phony name Bryshere purposes when he would rather not be perceived when he arranges food from lodgings again. Like I said, it was very sus that this cross-examination that totally embarrassed Bryshere was spilled, so it's conceivable that whoever spilled it knew precisely exact thing they were doing, which would back up the charge by Bryshere that the whole capture was arranged, perhaps by Will Smith and Diddy. In any case, founded on the claim that was supposedly recorded, Bryshere's legal counselor, Michael Anetti, said in a proclamation that his client was an objective of a malignant and composed crusade by Will Smith and Diddy, who he called two of the most remarkable and malevolent men in Hollywood. The legal counselor additionally said that Bryshere had proof to demonstrate his claims and that he was looking for equity and pay for the mischief done to his profession and notoriety, while sources near Diddy and Will Smith excused Bryshere's cases as ridiculous and hallucinating and said that they had no private or expert connection with him. They likewise called attention to that Bryshere has a past filled with legitimate difficulties and flighty way of behaving, and that he was attempting to divert consideration from his own concerns by suing them anyway. Nothing has been formally delivered to the media, and these cases have not been confirmed by court archivists like Cassie's claim, yet it very well might be coming soon sufficient. How every one of these might actually make sense of what occurred with Bryshere, because for somebody who has such a splendid future, his ruin was miserable. I mean, other than the 2020 capture, which was purportedly set up in November 2022, Bryshere was captured again for conflicting with his probation. Cops were called by a lady asserting that she was dating him, and she let the official know that his way of behaving was heightening, and she was worried for her security. The lady additionally guaranteed that Bryshere tossed a crate of food at her, pulled her hair, and she likewise educated cops regarding different examples where he yelled her, and it wasn't. Only that, by the way, in light of the fact that the police said that he had various disagreements with the policing, a homegrown related aggravation call the earlier month, Bryshere evidently neglected to illuminate his post-trial agent about those occurrences, which is the reason he was hit with a probation infringement, and an adjudicator marked a warrant and he was captured. Furthermore, there was one more claim from Bryshere's landowners who said that they leased him a townhouse inside their 4-unit C, Chicago complex, and they asserted that, in addition to other things, Bryshere left his canine inside the townhouse for expanded time frames. They guaranteed the canine was left unattended in like manner regions in the complex and peed and crapped out of control, which essentially harmed the hardwood floors, steps, and different pieces of the property. Also, they said Bryshere hopped all through windows, stopped up the latrines by flushing down condoms, smoke pot, in the spot while smoking was not permitted on. With the yes to an extreme, and think about why Bryshere isn't the only one intending to drop more receipts on Diddy. Do you all recall when YK Osiris was supposed to have been sincerely associated with Diddy in past virtual entertainment posts after the two were spotted holiday together in Jamaica in 2021 while on The Morning Meal Club? YK endeavored to close down the tales by denying the Diddy Don Juan claims, yet supposedly he's currently intending to spill the talk factory, is saying that very much like devotees had thought something truly went down with Diddy, yet the trade was not shared, and that YK was essay during their experiences. The thing is, the reason K. Osiris was encountering monetary difficulty following the arrival of his most memorable collection and subsequent to being trimmed from his record manage. Passing Jam Records, he saw Diddy. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.